All right, let's ride. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Mr. O back once again. My apologies for being late. I know it's September 6th, but see, we're in the wee hours of the midnight, though. Wee hours of the night, the true dark night, the true night rider. Coming at you live right now via Facebook, via Twitter, via YouTube, Tumblr, and now I'm also on SoundCloud. So, yeah, I'm broadcasting to you live. We got a lot of things that we need to cover about. And I promised a good friend of mine's, good longtime friend of mine's for 8 years, that I said I'd do a story on this one. So I've been up all day doing some research and getting material done for tomorrow's show, Tuesday Night's Tech, for all you tech geeks and tech heads in the mobile world, but not just them. I'm talking about like real people who need to know about the everyday thing about their mobile handsets. But we'll deal with that tomorrow. Right now, this is something that's current event and news that's breaking to me. Before I start off, I do want to address something for all, college football has kicked off, and I don't know the score as me being a Garnet and Gold man myself. So I need to find out what the heck's going on. And speaking of the Garnet and Gold from up there in Tallahassee, Florida State came through, number 4 ranked in the nation, against Ole Miss, 45-34. Pretty good game, though. So for all you FSU fans, here in South Florida and up in Central and North Florida, the Florida State Seminoles setting it off. Now, with that out the way, let me get on to something that really did catch my eye. Now, you heard my earlier podcast early this morning about with President Obama defending Colin Kaepernick. And no, this is not another Kaepernick thing like that. I mean, yeah, it's going to have y'all talking. But he was on schedule to meet with Philippine President Rodrigo Duture. President Rodrigo Duterte has been in the news recently, as of late himself, because he's the one that made headlines. Well, they didn't talk about it on CNN or Fox or MSNBC or none of the lamestream media. Because he's the one that questioned the U.S. and stuff. Why in the world is y'all killing Black Americans when they're on the ground? Because he really was disgusted at the recent and racial shooting of unarmed Black men, women, and children by law enforcement officers, aka race soldiers, white supremacists pretending to be law enforcement. But that's not where it struck Obama at right there. No, it hasn't. What got President Obama, is when he met. Well, I'm gonna just read this to you, and I'm gonna just come back with my commentary. Obama calls off meeting with Philippine leader after horror jab. In case y'all don't know who Rodrigo Duterte is, he's the gentleman that y'all see there in the picture, upper right-hand corner. U.S. President Barack Obama has canceled a meeting with controversial Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, who had earlier called him, and I quote, the son of a whore. Ooh, very blunt. Mr. Obama has said that he would raise the issue of drug-related extrajudicial killings in the Philippines. But Mr. Duterte, who has sanctioned the killing of drug dealers, said if that happened, in his native language, Putang ina, son of a whore, I will swear at you in that form. Now, Aide said that Mr. Obama will now meet with South Korean president instead. U.S. National Security Council spokesman Ned Price told reporters that the U.S. president will hold talks with Park Jung-hee at the Association of Southeast Asian Nationals, ASEAN, in Laos, where leaders are gathering for a regional summit. Now, how the road escalated. Now, Mr. Obama, who flew to Laos after attending the G20 meeting in Hangzhou, China, had been said to raise concerns about human rights abuse in the Philippines. But speaking in Manila on Monday before he left for Laos, Mr. Duture bristled at the suggestion, saying it was rude and cursing the U.S. president. He added that we will be wallowing in the mud like pigs if you do that to me. He then referred to the anti-drug campaigns that has led to the killing of basically 2,400 suspected drug dealers and users in the Philippines since he took office in June. The campaign against drugs will continue. Many will die, plenty will be killed, until the last pusher is out of the streets. Until the last drug manufacturer is killed, we will continue. Now, Mr. Obama initially appeared to play down the insult, saying that he had asked his aides to work out if this is a time where we can have some constructive, productive conversations. His aides later canceled the talks. Now, Mr. Obama's last scheduled trip to Asia as president has not been without incident. He was also caught up in a protocol row with host China over his arrival in Hangzhou. Now, as far as insults, this ain't the first time President Duterte has employed vitriolic language against such prominent figures. Shoot, he's called Pope Francis the son of a whore, Secretary of State John Kerry crazy, and we recently referred to the U.S. ambassador to the Philippines a gay son of a whore. Now, correspondents say that such colorful talk plays well with the domestic audience, but in the long run, it could cost Mr. Duterte on the international stage. Now, the UN has repeatedly condemned Mr. Duterte's policies as a violation of human rights. Now, in August, 2 UN human rights experts said that Mr. Duterte's directive for police and the public to kill suspected drug traffickers amounted to incitement to violence and killing, a crime under international law. But here's the thing. Duterte is also the one that also criticized the U.S. that why, and I said this, that why hasn't Obama really hasn't speaking on the issue of these killings of unarmed black men, black women, and children here by racist police officers, which I would say, yeah, they are racist, so just white supremacists. But he gets his feelings hurt because Duterte called, referred to his mother, say like son of a whore, I say it like this. I guess, the president's probably going to his little happy spot. But, like I said, Duterte, he letting them know that, hey, ain't no puppet here. My thing is like this, and this is my personal opinion. You can take it any way you want, until I get some more facts. He's going to run, that's his country. He runs the Philippines, and he's going to run it the best way he see fit. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I don't have no problem with Filipinos because, like, a few of my best friends, a few people that I've come across happen to be Filipino. And I'm going to tell you like that. That's black, too. Shoot. You have to understand something, that we are global people, man. So Duterte is doing something because you know who else he reminds me? That's a boss. He letting them know that, hey, I'm going to run this the best way I see fit. Motherfucker don't like it. I don't like condone the killings of drug dealers, but, hey, but it puts them on notice that you ain't going to be dealing no drugs in this country. Vladimir Putin, Russian president, is the same way. And I like what Putin's doing. That's my personal opinion. Same it was with Castro, with Fidel Castro in Cuba. I enjoy every bit of it. But more will come up on that. Right now, I do want to talk about something that's really caught my mind and is really, really, really important. And a good friend of mine's had brought it to my attention too as well. And it's going on right here in the States here. It's going on right here in the States. I'm gonna just go ahead and look it up for y'all. Y'all just give me a minute. Uh-huh. Yeah, because it's going on with the pipeline protest that's never been reported up in Dakota. The Dakota pipeline protest. What's going on with that? It's simple. You know, the whole thing is a construction of a oil pipeline going through the Missouri and Cannonball River. You know, but see now it done get these corporations, these money hungry corporations now. They're using not police officers, not federal agents, but hired mercenaries to go ahead and attack our Native American brothers and sisters, protesters, with dogs and pepper spray now. You know, and I'm talking about not just any dogs. Not they just using like German shepherds. They're using what I found on Facebook, and they hit me up on Facebook through it, because with Standing Rock. You know, that's the tribe there. They're not using pit bulls. They're using because the video is right there on it. So that's not even pit bull. It's a real large pit bull, as y'all heard right there. I forgot the but it's the real big ones. I'm even looking at pictures where you seen right now where a lady, like one of the ladies they had got a picture of a German Shepherd or something with human blood on the mouth and all that. She's sick the dog on her. So I'm telling you like this, they already put her information on Facebook, so you can go on Facebook and look at her picture. Ashley Nicole Welch, address 124 1 Snow Road, Burton, Ohio, 44021. Shoot, you even got a phone number, 440-537-2517. Shoot, that's her information right there. You go to Facebook, you can look it up. But they're using dogs, not just using dogs, they're using dogs also to go ahead to attack children too. You know, and you know, like I said, I just want y'all to listen to this real quick, because it's real horrible. If you ain't got the stomach for it, I suggest you turn the channel. And again, the people that's handling those dogs, they're not federal agents. They're not even uh, law enforcement. These are hired mercenaries. These are mercenaries. In other words, hired thugs, sicking these canines on women and children, particularly children. Look, that's those. That's the Dakota's land, and them building an oil pipeline that would basically kill off the natural resources, kill off the fish, just so for corporate greed is dead wrong. And see, the thing about this is one of these stories that never make the lamestream media. This is one of the reasons why I don't even have a television, don't want one. Okay, um, yeah, it makes my blood boil. And you got these old corporate greed thugs here trying to take away land from indigenous people and then use it for their own benefit. More of this story, I will be following up on this, no doubt. But I do want to get to something that, I normally try to stay away from the presidential thing. But I figured, with all the worst things going on in this, much as I've also said about with Hillary Clinton, I've also got to say something about this with Donald Trump. His little visit recently to Detroit at a black church there. I've seen the video and I've seen what's the chick name? If anybody know her name, hit me up in the chat room or comment section or something like that, because I am broadcasting live via YouTube or Facebook. Omarosa, that's her name. I'm sorry. Yeah, now I got it. Omarosa. I forgot that chick's name. Good grief. Yeah. Was there. And you look at the video, you see them all praising the Lord, blah, blah, and all this, and Trump swaying and all, like this. I mean, it's not even genuine. And then on top of that, after they left from there, he went to the home of where Ben Carson was raised at. Ben Carson took him to his home. And I figured, he has to stay in the picture and everything like that just to be relevant, And, with Ben Carson, for somebody who was a brilliant neurosurgeon, he is just really common sense stupid, don't have no type of spine whatsoever. I can't even respect him. So, I'm going to tell you something like this. Everybody was off to come ask me about with Trump, about with the presidential thing. Like I told y'all before, when it comes down to voting, I don't really give a shit about about the presidential thing. What you need to be focused on, see, this is where a lot of our people, black people, mess up at. Focus on the local elections. That's what you focus on. When it comes down to your mayors, your commissioner, your aldermen, governors, judges, your judges, lower municipal court judges, police chiefs, city and county mayors, things like that, your congressmen, senators. Because guess what? These are the people that's putting things in effect. That's going to writing things down. That's going to affect you directly. And these are the people that you need to be looking towards to. And as far as like with Trump and with Hillary, like I say, and I say it like this once again, that the hashtag was screwed 2016, it's definitely that. So I could be crazy about that. So I'm not really even thinking about that. But the two stories that I did mention, with Obama canceling his little thing with President Duterte and stuff like that. Yeah, he's brash, he outspoken and all that stuff. Yeah, that works good with his people there, and I like him for that. But when you going to the international platform and there, I don't expect him to come fake, but he got to have a little bit more diplomacy and dialogue, But I do applaud him for even he questioned because here's the thing with Obama. How you gonna call yourself gonna go over there to somebody else's country and try to check them for human rights violations when you got human rights violations going on right here every day? You know, I mean, Mr. President, Mr. Obama, you stood up for the Jews, you stood up for the Asians, you stood up for the lesbians and gays. But when it comes down to your own people who basically got you 2 terms in the first place, and then you see what happened with Trayvon Martin, Jordan Davis, Mike Brown, Eric Gardner, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, Renisha McBride, Rakia Boyd, oh shit, and more recently, like Jonathan Farrell, and more recently Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, and plus the 9 victims that got murdered by that punk in South Carolina, Dylan Roof, Walter Scott, or that poor little girl that got flipped by that old puss ass cop, Ben Powers. Oh, by the way, yeah, an update on that. I'm gonna just let y'all know real quick. No surprise here. He is not going to be charged. All he's gonna do, he's gonna go move. They're gonna move him to have work in another police department somewhere else, maybe same state, same different city, same state. You know, but I tell you, Ben Powers there. I hope you is listening. I don't give a damn how much you bench press or deadlift like them. Shoot, you can get 5 put to your ass too. Shoot. You're a real big man by going ahead and flipping a little girl in the chair, and who basically like wasn't too much in the mind. And I still remember that story because I know a lot of people was going against the girl, black and white, particularly black. And and it was so stupid and so asinine of a lot of people too, that I personally had got in some people grill about that. And if it would have went a step further, I'd have got in their ass. So if you listening, your best bet is best bet to keep your head low. That's all I got to say, Mr. Ben Bitch Powers. I'll tell you. But yeah, Duture, yeah, very much outspoken. He reminded me so much of Vladimir Putin. It reminded me so much of Fidel Castro. They're not being puppets on the grand stage. And, this thing's a lot more bigger than it is. But I'm going to tell you right now, as in the famous words of Professor Black Truth, this going to be a long, hot summer. And it ain't over yet. And winter, and fall, and winter, and spring, summer, and fall, and winter, once again. Yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and report those 3 things. The Dakota pipeline thing, I'm definitely looking more into it. And for the record, yes, I stand behind the Dakota Nation. Because look, at the Million Man March last year, guess what? You had Native Americans, our Native American brothers and sisters stood in solidarity with us. Okay, so, and that was real, which is one of the reasons why these mainstream media didn't bother to televise that. But that's all right. You know what I'm saying? And to the buck dancing Sambos and coon who try to coon up the Trump, and to the rest of these coons, man, y'all need to just sit your ass down somewhere. And lately, it's a new group of coons out there that me and Irv Griffin have called. We call them soft shoeing cooning, real low key cooning, man. Roland Martin, how you gonna call yourself talking about checking Wendy Williams, who a coon too, but then here you around here doing the wobble for Hillary Clinton just for votes. But then turned right around and popped off on Tariq Nasheed, who was basically defending Corin Gaines from a couple of black feminists who basically was trying to attack Nate Parker with The Birth of a Nation. And I'm going to tell you something like that. The witch hunt against Nate Parker hasn't even stopped yet because they're doing anything and everything they can to try to stop this move stop the movie The Birth of a Nation. They just don't want to see Nat Turner on film. So guess what? Those feminists, like the ignorant little baboons that was on News One, TV News One, Roland Martin with the blonde hair and all that, who kept cutting the young brother off. You know, they just basically have. You got some black women out there that basically have a hatred toward black men. But I'm gonna touch on that some other time. I really don't want to get deep up into that though, because it is late. It is late for right now. But I did want to go ahead and get those 3 stories out in order to get y'all to think and to have y'all look into that, because this is serious news here. But I'm saying like that. But before I sign off, you know, like I say, you know, let's keep our black dollar circulating in our neighborhood, particularly like here in the South Florida area, and let's start going ahead and start banking and support the hashtag Bank Black movement, hashtag Black Dollars Matter movement. This your man. This the original Night Rider. This the original Dark Knight, Mr. O. I'm going here signing off. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow morning. Tune in tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, for Tuesday night tech. So I'm saying like that. So this Mr. O signing off. Peace out. Hotep. One love.